Smart technology is all around us, from our phones to our fitness trackers to smart speakers to our homes. We now live in a world that is run by tech gadgets. Editor-in-chief of Wired magazine, Nick Thompson, joins us now to discuss ways to hack the aging process. Nick, you're laughing. Why? Why?
Hacking the aging process. I mean,
can we hack the aging process?
Yes, I mean, you can use technology efficiently and smartly so that you age better. Absolutely. I'm not sure that's hacking the aging process, but it is definitely aging better and living better.
What are some of the top gadgets people are using to try to live better?
I think the fundamental gadget that people are using right now is the smartwatch. It's becoming sort of an all-encompassing device that measures your health, that also has apps that allow you to track certain health indices and things like that. But because it's on your body at all times and you have a real use for it, you're able to get a lot of data from it. And every year you're going to be able to get more and more data from it about yourself.
Are we able to measure the benefits to using such devices and whether they're having a net positive effect on people's health?
It's kind of hard to measure like net positive effect, right? Is technology good or bad? It's, there's a lot to weigh there, but we do know a couple things, right? So if you do wear a Fitbit or you do wear a fitness tracker, you actually do go and exercise more.
Okay.
Right? When you start to measure things on your body, it makes you more aware and more likely to actually go and do that. So if you're measuring the right things in the right ways, you can be healthier. If you do use a diet app, for example, and you put in all the things you eat, it does make you more careful about your diet. Absolutely.
All of that stuff would stress me out. Wear. So there's another question, right? Because we know stress leads to aging.
Yeah.
Does knowing you need to reach 10,000 steps every day stress you out and actually reduce the number of years you have? That's not a technical, scientifically answerable question.
I don't have a technical answer to it, but it's actually a really important question. It's something that people need to think about themselves and they need to think about hard, because every time you use a device and every time you start to pay attention to it, it takes up some of your brain cells and it takes up a little bit of your mind. And so if you're not getting something good from it, or if in fact you're getting something bad from it, the benefits, it's making you walk a little bit more, but it's making you only aware of your Fitbit while you're walking, then it's not for you. I think in general, there's a sort of a level of self-tracking that is healthy. Right? You can do a little bit and get something from it. Once you start to really obsess and you decide, like, I want to measure like every single thing that comes in my body, I want to know the exact oxygen content of every breath I take, and a lot of people do reach that point, yeah, then you're in problem.
Your neuroses is going to kill you anyway. But
right.
you bring up brain cells, and I remember when I was a kid, my mom saying, you can't watch TV all the time, it's killing your brain cells. With all of these screens, is there any science or data behind how it's actually affecting our bodies and our brains?
Well, again, it's much too complicated to come up with a simple thing. There are a bunch of things that we do know, right? We do know that as we use devices and as we use technology, we get distracted and it becomes harder to concentrate on things, right? And we remember things less, right? So if I had my cell phone active on the phone, on the table right now, I would remember less about this conversation if asked about it in a month. Fortunately, I don't, because we're live on TV, and that would be incredibly improper, right? But so technology does do that. It does distract us. On the other hand, it is an incredible recall device. So if you think about our minds right now, and you think about the information that I can access through smart, careful use of a smartphone versus somebody who doesn't have a supercomputer in their pocket, there are amazing benefits to that. So again, technology, if used properly and in the right way, makes our lives way richer.
Any
way more
research on whether it makes us more sedentary or lazy?
Well, again, right, yes, it can, right? If you start to play video games and you get sucked into it and you just sit on your couch all the time, yeah, it does make you more sedentary. But if you use a Fitbit and you use it in a good way, it makes you more active, right? If you use a Garmin and you set goals and you strive to hit those goals, maybe you end up running up mountains, right? So there are, used properly, technology does great things for you, but also, one of the most interesting things about technology is that it's kind of better at controlling us than we expect it to be.
What do you mean by that?
Like, we don't understand the power that technology can have over us. Like, technology is better at hijacking our instincts than we are at controlling them. And so once you make that realization, and once you make the realization that every device you have in your life and every tracker you have in your life is trying to get your attention and trying to pull you in all the time, sometimes for good, sometimes for ill, once you make that realization, I think you're able to use everything in a much smarter and better way.
Yeah, you regain control.
You regain control. I mean, that's one of the things. Like, we have gone through the process, like an evolutionary process, where we've suddenly gotten devices with incredible powers and strapped them to our wrists and our eyelids and on top of our heads and our backs and everywhere and put them in our pockets. And we have done this in a very short period of time, and we are learning the norms around it. So incredible benefits can accrue to us, incredible data, incredible information, but also, tough stuff.
Fascinating. Nick Thompson, thanks so much.
Sure.
Brought to you by Polident and Super Polygrip.